Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome for a continuous discussion on Bhajan. What is the title? Nama Bhajan on this from the book The Holy Name by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur or Harinam Cintamani. We are towards the final chapter of this book, and of course, it's very exciting. And here we see that Bhakti Vinod Thakur is writing this book in great ecstasy, especially the final part. It's very concluding. There's a lot of things that Bhakti Vinod Thakur wrote, like Jaiva Dharma and a lot of other books, Bhajana Rahasya. So now, here in this chapter, we see it is basically a conclusion of his finding. And this book was written in 1900. So today is 126-year-old book. Okay. And of course, the message is still clear and valid to us. All right. So some or other, we are very fortunate to stumble upon this book. And we are doing it for a second round. The first round we have did last year. And again, we are doing second round. And now we are towards the final part. Okay. So as usual, we are taking our own sweet time. We are not rushing into the book. And we are trying to relish each and every sentence that Bhakti Vinod Thakur is expressing. And through that expression, we feel some kind of sukriti, some kind of taste. And through the taste, some or other, by the mercy of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, and all the previous acharyas and all the present and previous acharyas of this Gaudiya mission, to bless us abundantly so that we can get the pure chanting of the holy name. Okay. So before we start, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Darati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Ragnatan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Pasachiristharine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine. Shri Varshabhana Videvidaitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Viknanadaine Prabhave Namaha. Madhuryo Jala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhakti Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namustate. Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtai Dina Tarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidanta Tvanta Harine. Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtai Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Pujaite Nama. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandana Mine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. Gauravir Baba Bhume Stam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhama Sri Jagannathayate Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Paditanam Pavinibi Vaishnave Bayo Namo Namaha. Om Mahamadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Garatasi Namaha. Panchatatvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Vadaram Bhakta Akyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustuti Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Shri Krishna Prabhupada Shrimati Jayapataka Swami Ram Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradaya Gaura Kada Damadai Nagara Namatarini Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So we meet here on the 3rd February 2026. It's already month of February, and we are still ongoing in our studies. Of course, this year was a very pleasurable year. From the day one, we started very positively that we are going deeper and deeper into the subject matter. Once we are done in this, so eventually we're going to go into Srimad Bhagavatam, the Purana that that elevates the Kali Yuga Vasis, the people of Kali Yuga just like us, into pure devotional service. All right. Anyway, please pardon my throat. After today's big program, I basically lost my voice. And extremely tired, very lethargic. All right. So anyway, so if the enthusiasm is low, you can boost my enthusiasm by asking question. So make me excited so that I can get my energy back. Okay. Of course, this topic is very energetic and energizing, and it's very relishing. So now we're going to discuss on this which chapter? I mean, where we end. The savior of the Iron Age, right? Is this the one that we supposed to start? Nama Bhajan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where did I mark? Oh, the savior. Okay, that's the one. Yes. All right. So a quick recap that we had. No. So a very interesting discussion we had for the past few days. So so now what we just recap. He says, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, now we venture to show the relationship between spirit and those devotees who are extremely anxious for prema. Okay. And we shall show the means of attainment of the highest bliss of the soul. If we are spiritual merit earned in previous birth, transcendental felicity will be enkindled in our heart. We have no appetite ruchi for the knowledge of the Brahman, which is restricted to realization of mere chit only. For spiritual sportive pastime, have no place in it. Right? So we discussed that 2 days ago, last week. So now the thing is, what Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, now we venture to show the relationship between the spirit and those devotees who are extremely anxious for prema. Then after that, he says, we shall also show the means of the attainment of the highest bliss of the soul. Okay. So that is the goal that we're going to go on in our current studies. All right. Now let's start our today's program. The savior of the Iron Age, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Chaitanya. Okay. What does that Iron Age means? Iron Age means it's the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Okay. Quarrel and hypocrisy. That means, in other words, is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, people can easily quarrel for petty things. You do not need to have a big thing to fight. Okay, like in previous Yuga, you see, in order to claim the land, which is the rightful heir, they went into war and all this. But today, they can simply go to war because of the silly football. Okay, there was once happened in South America. 2 countries actually went into war because of football. People are becoming more and more crazy. Just a little petty things can create a big issue. Okay. So the savior, the one who came to save the people in Kali Yuga, is none other than Sri Krishna Chaitanya. When we're going to study this Srimad Bhagavatam, we will understand that. When Kali Yuga is approaching, all the sages, all the great sages, they were so much in anxiety. They were so much in a kind of please mute. All right. So the anxiety in the sense of they were so worried how the people in Kali Yuga are going to live. And they did a big yagya. They make a big, huge yagya or fire sacrifice, praying that the effect of Kali Yuga will reduce. So all the sages assembled there are basically all in great anxiety, and they feel so pity the people in Kali Yuga, how they're going to survive. What is the problem in Kali Yuga? People are short-lived. The body is not strong, easily diseased. The memory power dwindle and disturbed. Already memory power is dwindled. The body is weak, short-lived, and they are highly disturbed. Everyone is easily disturbed, and there's a lot of things. And the 3 mode of material nature, it is very rampant. Mode of goodness, passion, ignorance. But in Kali Yuga, it's becoming more and more into passion and ignorance. Nowadays, people are all talking about how that they can make it big in life, how to get your best education. Like some people say, the normal school is no good. I send them to this some special school, or I send them to overseas. I want the children to take up this certain subject. so that child can become can go into this thing. So we are creating the modern system. The modernization is basically creating what they call a bondage. So if you follow the modern system of life, you are guaranteed to be born again in this material world. You are guaranteed to be born again. And of course, when you're born again, also definitely guaranteed you will lose a human form of life. Okay, you will lose human form of life and definitely will be degraded into this abominable species. Okay, that is some or other we are guaranteed. So at that moment, when all the sages got together, they did the thing. And of course, by the grace of Krishna, Sutta Goswami visited that arena where they did this big fire sacrifice, big this thing. And he came when they saw the head of that, when they saw that Sutta Goswami was there, who is a great acharya, when they saw him, they paid obeisance to him, and they gave him a very comfortable seat and start to ask question. Okay, and start to ask question because he is the person who directly witnessed the discussion between Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami. The Srimad Bhagavatam, when they saw the real thing. So now they're asking, please tell us, what did you see? So among the sages, the head is Shaunaka Rishi. He came and asked, and that's when he started to speak. He said, don't worry, this Kali Yuga is very unique. Okay, this is not the thing that all of you are so afraid of. Okay, like that. So similarly, after 4,500 years later, after the Bhagavatam was spoken, again Sri Krishna appeared again. Now he came in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, he came in the form of a devotee and showed, you want to come to me, you practice this way of life. So everything has to be advised by God. Even the medication, the way of having a good body was mentioned by in Ayurveda was Dattatreya, another incarnation of Krishna. So like that, all the things that we learn actually come from Krishna. Krishna, in all his expansion, he comes down to teach all of us the way of life. After showing all the ways of life, at last, okay, like for instance, when we study in Bhagavatam, we will understand a lot of things. Krishna will explain about dharma, how a king should live, how a merchant should live, and how even a person like Chandala means the hunter, what is his name? He got liberated. So now in Bhagavatam, we will study everything. So after knowing everything, so what is the practical part? Of course, that the hunter's name is what? Mrgari. Mrgari was delivered by Narada Muni, and he achieved the highest success. From being a horrible hunter, he achieved the highest success by the grace of Narada Muni. So now we have this Narada Muni and all these kind of great acharyas coming down to deliver that. But now the mass propagation, how? How to propagate this the mass? That means they call a mass production. Mass production or mass what they call eviction. You know, sometimes when there's an earthquake, you know, they'll come and evict the people. Eviction, right? They call it's a mass eviction to save everybody one shot. It's not come down just save 1 or 2%. For that reason, Krishna came in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the pure devotee, and came to show us what is the easiest way to achieve highest success in Kali Yuga, despite being short-lived, despite having a troubled body, despite having less intelligence, despite being disturbed by all these kind of things. Okay, so now you see the disturbance are getting more and more because the social media and all these people are openly criticizing other religion. You know, they're criticizing Quail Haram and all these kind of things are becoming more and more rampant. It creates more and more frustration. So let's see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. He said, he made a declaration. He declared. Who can declare? The person who are authorized only can declare. Right? The king says, I declare tomorrow is a public holiday. The prime minister says, I declare Taipusam is a public holiday. The person who have the absolute power only can make declaration. Not any Tom, Dick and Harry can make a declaration. Not a minister come and say, therefore, starting from this time, Taipusam, we're going to have 5 days holiday. Nobody cares. Right? The declaration has to come with a person who have the absolute power. With no no one can compete on that. They have absolute veto power. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has that absolute power of the Vedas. And he made a declaration. And what declaration he says? That Vedas to be the only judge and reveals the 9 prameya or the subject matter. So he says the Vedas to be the only judge. So we can have our own personal opinion. You have my opinion, you have your opinion, I have my opinion. Like that, everybody around, they have their own personal opinion. But in that personal opinion, he made a declaration. Your opinion, my opinion is not important. What is that final opinion? The final opinion is the review. I mean, they state the Vedas. Please mute.
Online.
Please mute. Everybody, please mute. Right. Okay. So then Vedas to be the only judge. And what is a judge? That reveals their 9 prameya. Now, 9, I mean the subject matter. All right. And not only that, there is also a broad discussion on in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why I'm saying in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a broad discussion. So Srimad Bhagavatam, we will see the entire process, the entire picture of this situation. So then the Vedas have proved Jivas to be spiritual atomic part of the deity. So now, after seeing that the Vedas is only to be the judge, so now what the Vedas says, the Vedas also have proved, the Vedas have already proved that Jiva, who's Jiva? The minute soul like you and I are spiritual atomic particle of the deity. That means of the spirit, of the supreme person. So we are spiritual but atomic, just the fire and the spark. So when we pay attention to the fire, but we don't pay attention to the spark. But the spark is also fire. But the fire can trigger another big fire. But the spark, it doesn't create any fire. Where rarely the spark can create fire. All right. But the spark we still identify as part of the fire. So like that, the Vedas have said that we are Jivas are part of the spiritual atomic. Okay, a spiritual atomic part. Okay, now the next statement, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, Jivas are like rays from the sun. Okay, Jiva are like the rays. The rays and the sun globe is 2 different entities. I mean, it is same, but you go near the sun, you get burnt. You turn into ash. But here, you can simply take a sunbathing. You can simply lay in front of the sun and enjoy the shine and the heat. All right. So now Jivas are like the rays from the sun, Krishna. So the spiritual form of the Jiva must be identified with the spiritual form of Godhead. You all understand that? So the spiritual form of the Jiva must be identified with the spiritual form of Godhead. Like the Bible says, man created from the image of God. Right? So this is how the God looks like. He has 2 hands, 2 legs. He got 2 eyes. Right? Just exactly how we look. That's how Krishna looks. Okay? But of course, he has the supreme opulent. And we are only a drop, a spark. Even the spark also looks so perfect and looks so real, so good. Imagine the whole thing. Right? So, and even the mantra we have studied, Ananda Namabhas, even its shadow, a little ray touches you, you can get highly liberated. Okay, just like that. So the spiritual form of the Jiva must be identified with the spiritual form of Godhead. But the difference lies in the fact that Krishna may be compared to the full sun. Yes, the difference is full sun, while the Jiva are just like his rays, innumerable rays. All right, I hope you got this point. Huh? So then he says, Krishna is the Lord of Lords. So Krishna is the Lord of Lords. Whoever that says that that is saying is Lord is the Lord of all Lord. Or in other words, is Param Ishvara. Parameshvara. Ishvara means controller or Lord. But Krishna is the controller of the controller. Is a Ishvara to the Ishvara. So Param Ishvara, Parameshvara. And the Jivas are is eternal servants. right? So now we must understand here the servant means not like the servant that we see in this material world. That means the master is there. The master is there, and I'm his obedient servant or slave. Not that way. Even say if you are a doctor, you are a DG, Director General, or even if you are a minister or the prime minister, what you are understood as the servant of the people. All right, you are the public servant or government servant. Usually they call it, what are you doing? I'm a government servant. So government servant means, are you being a slave to the government? No. You still have your dignity, you still have everything, but you serve the government. All right. But this is just for an understanding, not to trigger some kind of ego. Oh, if I go back to Krishna, I'll be like, I'll be with him, not submissively, but with my head up, and I'll be talking to him. But I'm a servant of Krishna. We don't have that kind of identity. It doesn't matter in spiritual world what kind of service we're going to do. It doesn't matter, because even if you become a grass in the spiritual world, that is the highest form of liberation. Okay, we have studied there before. I think in was it in Nectar of Devotion. Okay, the trees in Vrindavan start lamenting because Krishna has already gone to Dwaraka. Even the trees in Vrindavan, they are all lamenting. What they lament? They are in great pain that Krishna don't even come and step on their shadow. What to speak about hugging the tree or sitting on the tree? They just think, Krishna is not there even to step on my shadow. So these kind of things, that's the thing. So it doesn't matter what you're going to be in Goloka Vrindavan. All right? But we must understand that we have eternity, and of course we are temporarily living in this body, but our real identity is the eternal servant of the Lord. There is no denying actually that the fact that residential home of Krishna is in Paravyoma. Okay, so there's no denying the fact that residential home of Krishna, the place that Krishna lives, is in the Paravyoma, or the place is called as Goloka, which is all spiritual. And of course, Vaikuntha, Chit Jagat, etc. refer to that spiritual region. All right. So what we understand? So the Paravyoma, or the supreme resident, is the place we call as Goloka. Okay, which is all spiritual. Then what is Vaikuntha Loka or Chit Jagat, the spiritual, like what they call the form, the light, Vaikuntha, everything, it refers to the spiritual region. That's why Prabhupada have said, have named, translated that as a spiritual sky. So first we see spiritual sky, and above spiritual sky we see Goloka Vrindavan. Okay. Now, so the Vajasaneya Upanishad, that's Upanishad called as Vajasaneya. Vajasaneya Upanishad speak of the form of Krishna to be purely spiritual. Then in Svetashvatara Upanishad describe the eternal powers of Krishna, who is superior to the best and the higher than the highest. It's very straightforward. The Mundaka Upanishad now, the third Upanishad called Mundaka, shows that bhakti to be the chit rasa, or the spiritual, what they call mellow. And coming to conceive Krishna is to be the life of the lives. So coming to the conceive of Krishna means what? Coming to the level of becoming his devotee, absorbed in devotionals. Conceive means you're pregnant. No, conceive. That means you're holding the child in your stomach. Right? I'm conceived. Okay, I'm conceiving a child. Conceiving means you're covering everything into the something. You're holding it into it. Okay? Or I say I conceive an idea. That means the idea that I truly believe in, and it's my deep thought. So now Bhakti Vinod Thakur using a fantastic English. He said that coming to conceive Krishna. Right? Coming to conceive Krishna means to understand Krishna from all around. His behavior, his action, his activity, the way he dress up, his feeling, all right, towards Radharani, towards the gopis, towards the Manjari, towards the Sakis, towards the Gopals, towards the to the parents, Nanda and Yashoda, and also to Devaki and Vasudev, and towards the demons, towards everything. All of them, he have different things. So to understand what is mellow is all about. Okay, when you want to serve your master, you must know what your master likes. Just one glance, okay, the master wants this. And second glance, what is the thing. Just by doing, just like tapping one finger, tuck, tuck, you know what he wants. That's how you become a perfect servant. Perfect servant. Okay, that's why. So that means now we have to come to the idea about conceive Krishna to be the and to understand this completely is the life of lives, the wise. That means a very intelligent way. Okay, but all this is possible after discarding all garrulity, dry wisdom, and vain arguments. Okay, first of all, let's see what is garrulity. Okay, how can I say? Prabhu, garrulity. Okay, let me just get a dictionary.
Talkative.
Huh?
Talkative.
Talkative.
Material non-talkative.
That means Prajalpa, is it?
Material desire and talkative.
Excessive discard. Okay, correct. Okay. So, first of all, we understand. So, after discarding the life, the wise, the intelligent people, all this possible after discarding. What is discarding means? Throw away. Right? So, sometimes when you see the snake discards its skin, we don't say the snake remove the skin or throw the skin. Discarding. Okay? We say discarding, the word discarding means totally throw away without even looking back. Discard. Throw it away. We say throw it away means, go and check it out whether they got something there or not. But discard means one-way ticket. Throw. Discard. Okay? So, all these things are possible. Consider the idea, but all this possible after completely throw out. Okay? Projita. In Sanskrit, it's called projita. Okay? After discarding what? Garrulity. That means extreme talkative. Lot of prajalpa. Talk nonsense. Okay? And of course, anything what Prabhu said, what desire is it? Someone talks a lot. Old uncle was quite garrulous. All right. Here's symptoms. Talkative, loquacious, chatty, verbal. Okay. So, too much of talk. Okay. Number one, get rid of this. Second is dry wisdom. Dry wisdom means to like dharma, artha, kama, moksha, or talk some kind of nonsense philosophy. The God is light. All this kind of dry wisdom. And the third is vain arguments. Vain argument means to argue, to debate. Even in Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami Pad was telling, this kind of vain argument debate is just like dog barking. Okay, the people are here debate. Sometimes now it's quite common. It's quite common. They say when two people get together, they start to talk about economy and also politics. The way that Anwar is doing is not right. Oh, the way actually is good. Why you are saying is good? It's no good. No, you are looking at your life, but Anwar looking at the whole country, and that start debating. What vain talk? In Tamil, we call vetti pitch. Vain argument. Argue for no reason. I mean, what is the real argument? To establish whether Krishna is supreme or not. No, I think Narayana is supreme. No, Krishna is not supreme. Krishna is not the original form. Narayana is the original form. Oh, really? Okay, let me give you some evidence from the Vedas. Iti Chamsa Kala Pumsa, Krishna Astu Bhagavan. This kind of debate is positive. Both are Vaishnavas and both are trying to establish which form of the Lord are highest. It's a very good argument. But not simply argue for nonsense. So that means when we can give up this garrulity, I mean, extreme talkative, talk nonsense, dry wisdom, then also vain argument. Garrulity also we call as vacho vegam, vasanam. Okay, garrulity, dry wisdom, and vain argument. These three things you give up. Then what do? After give up all these, you dive deep to see the bottom of their soul. So dive deep, go deep to see the bottom of their soul. They, after realizing the deity, by the dint of pure intuition. So they, after realizing the deity, that means after they realizing the form of God, deity is also considered form. Okay. After realizing the form of Krishna, God, by how you can do it? By pure intuition. Okay. Pure intuition. That means the intuition, kind of a, the mellow in the heart. Sometimes you feel intuition. That's something that trigger from your heart. Intuition is something like, what they call intuition in Tamil. What they call in Malay also. There's one word. Sometimes the intuition, the child, when the mother is cooking at the kitchen, when the baby is in front crying, she feel intuition. Hey, I think my child is crying. They go in front. Yes, crying. That's something that trigger from the core of your heart. Intuition. All right. So after realizing the deity by the dint of pure intuition, and what they will do, they will run after devotion. They will run after devotion. He who does this is a Brahmana. He who does this is a Brahmana. So it's not specifically mentioned. So now we understand that that the caste system and all these kind of things, this exists in the but the caste system is not applied or practical or not applicable in devotional process. Maybe in social custom, social system, we look into the caste system. You are this particular caste, you have this particular duty, this is how your life, your family living and everything. But when it comes to spiritual life, when it comes to the spirituality, the qualification of being a spiritual or going back to Godhead, it doesn't matter from the birth that we have taken, in which family. So now Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying very nicely, the person who dive deep after giving up the nonsense talk, dry wisdom and vain argument, and they go deep into themselves, and they realize the deity by the dint of pure intuition, they run after devotee. And those who do this is a Brahmana. He's a Brahmana. Or in other words, a Vaishnava devotee of Krishna. Okay? Because a Brahmana also got two divisions. A normal Brahmana is the one that in the mode of goodness. And even in the mode, I think chapter 14, even in the mode of goodness is considered still is a mood. The person who are in this pure state, who are always educated, they are always self-happy, they are self-satisfied. These are the people. And they are known as Brahmanas. And the mode of nature is goodness. So that means still under the nature mode. Okay. That means all of you are staying in the same house. Okay. I give you an example. What is that mode? Okay, I just say, all right, now this is a house. Okay. Okay. Right. It's the whole house. Okay. So this is the house. Okay. In this house, there's one room here, which is one boy, say like the man got 3 children. Okay. 3 children, and all are situated in 3 different places in the house. So now, the first child who are in this house, he studies any day and night. He always, he doesn't talk nonsense. He always study, read, and always he's in the mode of goodness. The another child in this middle house, always in front of the computer, play with the computer, and always talk with the friends and being very talking about future, talking about this child in the mode of good passion. And the third child here, who sit at the back of the room, always dull-headed, always sleep very late and wakes up very late and always dull. So now the three kind of children are living in the same house. The first child is the mode of goodness. The second child is the mode of passion. And the third child is mode of ignorance. But we must understand, despite the three different mentality, but they are all living in the same house. They all living in the same house. So whether we are in the mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, whether we are very highly elevated, or we are in so much of passion, or we are totally ignorant, but we are still in the same place, the material world. So like that. So that's why it says, he who does this is a Brahmana. But whatever Brahmana, he is a Vaishnava devotee of Krishna. So Vaishnava devotee of Krishna means what? He is above the Brahmana. That means he's beyond the mode of material nature of goodness, passion, and ignorance. I hope you all get it. Okay. So they are considered beyond the material concept. So they are not entangled, because even being a goodness, you are still within that house. Whether you're in passion, still within the house. But the thing that what we want now, how can I get out of this house? So this house is basically a prison house. So now the question is, I want to know, how can I from here, how can I come out of this place and go to some nice place which is promised in the Vedas? Once you go there, you will never return back. A beautiful, wonderful place, right? So the thing. So in order to come out of this, now is the thing, you must come to the level of pure goodness. So the pure goodness means beyond the mode of goodness. It's the normal mode is in the material mode, but out of this thing is called pure goodness. Okay. So now, such has been shown to be the nature of bhakti or devotion. This has been shown is the nature of the bhakti. As the Chandogya Upanishad, now Chandogya Upanishad states what? Oh Maitreya, the soul alone is to be seen, heard, reflected, meditated upon, and realized by the spiritual organs. All right. The Chandogya Upanishad saying, oh Maitreya, the soul alone is to be seen, heard, reflected, meditated upon, and realized by spiritual organ. All is then known to us as beyond any doubt. Okay. So now what soul is mentioned here? The soul, Krishna, is dearer than one's son, dearer than wealth, and he is the omniscient. Are you all following me on this? So now it says here, the soul alone is to be seen, heard, and reflected, meditated, and realized by spiritual organ, means by spiritual environment, spiritual mentality. Once your eyes, your nose, all your organs become spiritualized by the dint of devotional service. All right. That's when we will understand. So that's all this known to us beyond any doubt. It's beyond any doubt. And who's that soul? That soul is other than Krishna. Is none other than Krishna. And actually, this is more dearer than the sun, dearer than the wealth, and and he is omniscient. He's always super powerful. All right. Things that are sense pleasing. That means things that are sense pleasing are never worth endearment. So anything that pleasing your senses, your eyes, your ears, your tongue, all these never worth endearment, never worth the effort. From the pleasure comparative to the pleasure of the great soul. Okay, where when it is not worth it, because there's from the pleasure of the great soul, which is all joy proceeds. That means all the happiness will proceed once we come to the pleasure of the great soul of Paramatma. Okay, thus the eternal relationship of happiness between Krishna and the Jiva is prema. So therefore, the eternal relationship of happiness between Krishna and Jiva is prema. So that means prema is part of our system. All right, it is been inbuilt. Example, if you have a Ferrari, it is inbuilt. The car can fly at 200 kilometers per hour. The car can go at 200 kilometers per hour. That's inbuilt. The thing is inbuilt. But you choose to be very careful driver. You drive at 80 kilometers per hour. So that means you are not making the full use of that Ferrari. So similarly, and we as a human entity, there's an inbuilt. And what is that inbuilt? The potential of prema is inbuilt in our heart. So you just need to enkindle it. All right. So once you kindle the thing, once you churn, once the ingredients start to be mixed, that's when you start to have the real taste manifesting. And that's very, very important. And that manifestation of taste, we call it as prema. That means the relationship between the Jiva and Krishna, what is the relationship? Is prema. Okay. What exact connection does there exist between the manifested and visible mundane world and the spiritual sphere? So Bhakti Tirunal is asking, what exact connection does there? So now let's look at this. What actually the connection does there that exists between what? Manifested and visible mundane world. Manifested is created, visible that you can see with your own eyes, mundane world, which is this material world, and the spiritual sphere. The spiritual, what is the difference? What is that exist between? Connection does there exist? Okay, what is that connection? The question is, what is that connection that exists? Okay, so now, in going to search after the spiritual truth, in the search, when a person starts looking for a spiritual truth, more often than that not we are deluded. More often than not we are deluded. In going to search after spiritual truth, we are usually more often that we become deluded or we become confused. Then after deep contemplation, after deeply contemplate, how do you contemplate? With knowledge. You don't contemplate with emotion, because even our emotion are materially conditioned. A human being are prone to make mistake. We are prone to make mistake. Just think about it. How many mistakes have you done in your life? Sometimes knowingly, sometimes unknowingly. And sometimes we are under the spell. What is spell means? See, when someone casts a black magic on you, you are under the spell of a magic. When they say, turn right, yes, turn right. Turn left, go and hit your head on the wall. Tong, tong, you're going to hit the head on the wall. Because you are under the spell. That means you lose your ability of discrimination. You can't make a discrimination. You can't make the difference. You are blind. You are under the spell. You don't have the ability to think. You are just merely following. Like nowadays, everybody is under the spell of social media, under the spell of smartphone. The day I went and serviced my car, I was with my book, and everybody around me with a smartphone. And they looked at me, one person beside me looked at me and said, wow, you're reading a book? I said, yes. Oh, it's very rare. It's very rare to see people are reading book. I say, you should drop the thing down and start reading. You know? So like that. So that means what I'm saying is, so the contemplation comes through knowledge. That means you must read enough. You have the thing. After learning a lot of things, you contemplate. Now that everybody is contemplating how to chant effectively. That means now I got all the need. Okay, now I contemplate. Okay, how can I start? Where should I start? Like the day when Mataji was telling, she tried to close the eyes and nose and they put the cover the thing and start to chant. Then I asked, how did you feel? You say, I feel falling asleep. So kind of contemplation. So the deep contemplation, and the deep contemplation have to come with discrimination. What is discrimination means? We must know what we are doing the right or wrong. We must discriminate, push the unwanted one. Like for instance, you are buying a vegetable. The vegetable has a leaf, as a what they call the middle, what they call stem. Tree they call trunk. Plant what they call tandu. In Tamil we call that. Okay, the stem in the middle. At the end there's a root. Say like you're buying a sawi or whatever, kangkong or whatever. They take and they sell along with the root. So when you pay, you're paying when you pay and purchase that vegetable, all right? Like a sawi, what they call in English, what is it, Tim? You understand?
English.
I know English என்னது?
சாவியா இங்கிலீஷ்ல வந்து not spinach. எனக்கே டவுட்டா இருக்கு பாபு.
Okay, doesn't matter. I'm going to shop to buy a vegetable. Say bayam, spinach. All right, let's say spinach. I'm going to the shop to buy spinach. When I buy the spinach comes with the leaves with the stem and the root. When I purchase, say 1 kilo, 2 ringgit. So I'm purchasing along with the root. All right. So after I purchase, I bring back home. I look at the root. I say, oh my God, I paid for the root. It's all part of it. So let me clean up and cook the root along with the spinach. Does it work? No. So what we do, we cut the root and throw it out. Then we take all the dry or the leaf, we just remove. We take the fresh one. Then after that, we soak in salt water and try to wash it nicely. Then we cut into pieces, then we cook. So even in preparing the spinach, we have to discriminate. Cut the root, cut the dull leaf or the dry leaf. We throw everything. We take the best part of the tree and plant and we cook. So that is called discrimination. So similarly, we have to do discrimination. We cannot be blind follower, right? So the deep contemplation, yes, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, yes. And the discrimination is what? What are the things that are going to be impediment, that are going to be struggle in your spiritual progress? Number one, not to associate with karmis. All these materially infected people. All right. And they have the virus, the infection virus, very powerful. They just need to glance at you, talk to you, and show something about what they have. You can get infected with the virus. And takes a lot of, you have to take a huge antibiotic and all this vaccination before you can recover and come back to the real path. So rather don't take the risk, disassociate yourself with karmis. Second is, disassociate with non-devotees. Hey, what is it? Karmi and non-devotee. Karmi is the one that always think of growing. Non-devotee means the people who are in this spiritual, but not in line of worshipping Krishna. They can be from any other background or religious process. So avoid the association. Because you know why? They'll come and simply do. Why Krishna? Why not Shiva? Why not Murugan? Why not this? Why not that? Why not Jesus? Why not Allah? They're going to create a lot of. So better don't associate with them. Okay. Then after that, what do? You only in the mode of worshipping Krishna alone. Right? Then you do not want to waste your time or resources in worshipping any other form. The form of Brahmajyoti, the form that the formless body of Krishna, the aura, or these expansions like the material expansion, like the devatas, the demigods. So we do not want to do all that, because when you see one of the offenses, the 10 offenses, worshipping the demigods independently as Krishna is one of their offenses, and it can spoil your japa. It can spoil your sadhana, right? So like that. So yes, Mangala Mataji, you want to say something? Okay. Now, so we must be able to discriminate. So now we are not, by doing this, are we trying to be a fanatic? No, we are not. We are not fanatic, because we are not trying to prove our belief system. What is fanaticism? To show that my belief system is superior. Okay. And how you show it? By expressing it out, by criticizing others. Oh, you are this. Oh, you go that. You are that to God. You are this God. Oh, that means I only pray to Krishna. Oh, you pray to Murugan, or you pray to Shiva. You are. That is fanatism. We are not fanatic. We are not trying to show off. We are deep contemplation. Please mark this word. Deep contemplation means the thought is running within your mind, and you are discriminating within yourself, not by proving or by debating or talking nonsense and this and that. But if you do that, you're only going to create enmity. When people just simply come and tell, oh, this guy is fanatic, religious extremist. Okay, so when the two religious people start talking, they only end up in quarrel. Your God, my God. Your God says this, my God says that. Come on, every God is one. So we have no time to debate. Okay, so like that. So we try to discriminate. We avoid everything. For what? Because this is how, we can do. So in that deep contemplation and discrimination, we conclude, right, that spirit to be something opposite to matter. What does that mean? Matter means material nature, prakriti, the thing that we are seeing around. Everything that I see around will, when I say, if I come back, if in the future, if I create this time machine in the year 2126, 100 years from today, 100 years from today, when I come back, will I see this house? Maybe this house, someone will be staying, or this place will be demolished and turned into some metropolitan. All right. I won't see all this plant and all the trees that has been so. No, I can't see anything. Maybe the mountain in front of me also can be destroyed, and there'll be a casino. Who knows? Maybe it can turn into a golf course. So nothing in this matter lasts. The matter is temporary. And everybody trying to fight to preserve the matter. Preserve the sea, preserve the ocean, preserve the, what they call the trees, the mountains. It can never happen because this is Kali Yuga. People are capitalist. They just don't care as long their pocket is full. Now you see, the prime minister is corrupted. Okay, we thought maybe it's a corruption because he's a politician. Now the head of the army is corrupted. And now even the head of that spy also corrupted. They caught him. So when you look at this, what happened? I mean, these people should have got millions of dollars for revealing the national secret. How many countries should have heard? Basically, the Malaysia is naked. That means everybody knows what's happening. Because this is Kali Yuga. You can't find anything, this thing, right? So now, after deep contemplation and discrimination, we are conclude that something opposite to the, that means opposite to this matter, which is full of nonsense, corruption, non-cleanliness, nothing lasts. So that means what we say, that the conclusion that we come to, the spiritual is the opposite of the matter. All right. So when we try to be spiritual and material at the same time, it doesn't work. So now, after that, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is continuing. What he says, pressing our worldly reasonings too far. So that means when we try to say, when we are pressing our worldly reasoning, that means, oh, I have to work hard. I have to, your reasoning in material concept, and you're pressing it out. You're pressing. That means you're trying to churn out. What can I do? What can I achieve somehow in this life? What can I do? Oh, my talent, I can be the next millionaire. I can create one industry. That means pressing our worldly reasoning too far. What will happen to us? We leave chit rasa. We leave chit rasa. I mean, chit means spiritual rasa, the spiritual marrow, what they call mellow, to the background. We put it at the back. Yes, Mataji Mangala Rukmani. You want to say something? Okay. So we leave the chit rasa at the background because we got so much of reasoning about material opulence and success. When that thing happened, what will happen? So when we leave chit rasa to the background and are satisfied with an imaginative, inarticulate, and incomplete conception of spiritual Brahman. So once we put it, and we become satisfied to the imaginative, inarticulate, imaginative philosophy, in imagination, belief system. To what? To incomplete conception of the spiritual Brahman. Even though the Brahman or the aura or the light, the Jyoti is spiritual, but just to feel that that's a summum bonum, or that is the original, the supreme whole, is complete, it is incomplete conception. How can a light appear without a source? When there is a sun rises, that's when the light. So when they say light is everything, why can't you create the light at night? Why they need a night? Why suddenly the light disappears at night? After 7 p.m., the light disappears. And the light start appearing the next day, 7 p.m., 7 a.m., 7:30. 7:30 sunset, 7:30 sun rises. So what happened between 7:30 at night to 7:30 a.m. in the morning? In that 12 hours period, where did the light went? When the light is all the full conceived is a complete thing. The light is eternal light. But where the hell is the light at night? When it's fully means it should be everywhere. So the light follows an object, the thing that manifests the light. So there's something that produces the light, and we are at that side. That means it's blocked. So when the earth turns, the light comes. Then again it goes off, it becomes night. The sun's still at the same place, but only we are rotating. Right? It's just like having a barbecue. Right? This is, of course, it's a nonsense example. Okay, say we're doing barbecue on a corn. Okay, we don't talk about meat. How we barbecue the corn? We stick the corn, put a fire, and rotate. So everywhere it cooks. So similarly, the earth is rotating, and everywhere is keep getting the sun, and no one is getting deprived of the light and the heat. When you start to see the light is everything, is incomplete. There is a light here because there's a bulb. When there's no bulb, there's no light. You understand? So it's incomplete conception, imaginative understanding. So this is only an imagination of Chit Swarupa, or it's an imagination of the spiritual form of what? Brahman, or the light. You see, the form is actually the light. In such stage, in that stage, Brahman is immutable. Okay, the understanding of once we come to the level, immutable means you can't stop from believing in that. Incorporeal, strongly believe it. Invisible or formless, without attributes, and dry of prema. So that means you become dry of love, prema. And this uncommon perception is like sky flower. Okay, this uncommon perception is like the sky flower. That means the flower in the sky. That means does the sky flower exist? No. It's imagination. And being unable to know the name, unable to know the name, the form, the attributes, or its qualities, and the pastimes or diversion of the Chit Swarupa. That means the diversion, that means the varieties. Diversion means diversification. That means there's varieties of Chit Swarupa, the spiritual form. We turn to being inactive. That's when a person becomes inactive. And hence in that, all potence of jiva, all the potential or potence of portion, that means varieties of portion of the jiva, come to pass due to this dry wisdom. So when the thing becomes dry wisdom, what happens? When a person comes into dry wisdom, that's when the frustration starts. You know, that's when the frustration starts. You know, you feel so dry. So dry means frustration. That's why in certain religious process, the Abrahamic religion who says that God is formless, they are always in trouble. They are always disturbed. And not only that, they go around and create trouble for everyone. Because that's the nature. Because you're in the dry wisdom. You try to say God is formless and you try to prove it, and you want to die for it. And you want to kill anyone who don't believe in that also. Okay. So this is well illustrated in the conversation between Vyasa and Narada. Okay. In Vyasa and Narada is a very clear conversation. Okay. What is the conversation? In Srimad Bhagavatam, we will study that. The conversation between Vyasa and Narada. Vyasadev will be very upset. After compiling the Vedas, 4 Vedas, then make a conclusion of the 4 Vedas called Brahma Sutra. Okay. Brahma Sutra is commentary. Commentary, that means the summary of the entire 4 Vedas. After that, he'll be sitting and scratching his head. Why did I go wrong? Why I feel not happy? Something is not right. In that contemplation, his spiritual master, Narada Muni, will appear. In Narada Muni. Narada Muni says, Vyasadeva says, oh, my dear spiritual master, why I'm not feeling happy? Is there something is not right? Yes. Because you still speak on the dry wisdom. You still speak on dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Religiosity, material success, artha, kama, enjoyment, and after everything, go moksha. That's not the life. There's something beyond that. You have forget to touch. Because in every Vedas, Krishna to be known. Now, go and give commentary on Krishna. Establish the Supreme Personality, the original form, the Swarupa, the original form of the Lord, not the explain. You explain everything. And that's when he start to give commentary on Brahma Sutra. The comment, that means he already gave a summary, and after that he gave a commentary on the summary. And the commentary on the summary is called Srimad Bhagavatam. We will read that in Srimad Bhagavatam, the conversation between Vyasadeva and Narada Muni. And it is clear from above that you never can know. It's very clear above that you can never know the spiritual sportive pastime of Parabrahma. All right? You can never know it is you never can know. You will never know the spiritual sportive pastime. Spiritual sportive pastime is the topmost pastime of Parabrahma, the Supreme Brahman. If you are dazzled by the mere Chit Swarupa of Brahman. So, when you are so excited with Brahman, the light, the Jyoti, you can never know the sportive pastime of the Parabrahman, the Supreme Person, the person behind the light, where the light emanates from, the Sri Krishna. You can never know the sportive pastime. The romantic and the pastime of Krishna with gopis and Srimati Radharani, and the pastime of him with the friends. It's in the form of Sakka, a friendship with the boys, running around playing Achidudo, Kona Kondi, and the way that he go and give pleasure to the parents, sometimes irritate them, annoy them. You think that your children annoying you? Krishna is the greatest annoyance. All right, he's a real menace, M-E-N-E-C-E. All right, menace, that means he's extremely naughty. Until Mother Yasoda will be start hitting the breast and start crying, "Hey, Anda, hey, why are you doing that?" Until Krishna feels so bad. Okay, relax. Narada, I mean, even what do you call? There's one pastime. What do you call? Nanda Maharaj. At one moment, he'll get very angry. He'll take the cane and whack Krishna. Can you imagine? He's that annoying. So all this kind of sportive, beautiful pastime of Krishna, you can never know if you just simply sit in Brahman. Okay? If you are dazzled, it's a dazzling for just mere the spiritual light. Okay? Which is only the semblance of the eternal light of Chit. Semblance means what? It's only a part of that eternal light. All right? The sun is shining very brightly in the house, outside. The part of the light is showed at the side there. And of course, semblance. That means it's just a mere dim light, dim sun. But there the sun is super bright. But as it comes in, it reflects with all the covering. And there I see a little semblance or just a dim form. So that means if we are the Chit, talking about Supreme Brahman as this thing is only a semblance of the eternal light of Chit. Chit means spiritual. Now, Haridas Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, please look at this word. He said, so brother, he's talking to us. Brother, look ahead. Look ahead, brother. Look ahead. Enter into the kingdom of Godhead. Enter into the kingdom of Godhead. After dashing through, after work, go through with full enthusiasm, fight and go for it. Dashing through the brilliance of the pure and simple Chit. What does that mean? Brilliance. The light is so brilliant. Of course, even the Jyoti is so brilliant. Dash through the brilliance of pure but simple Chit. Chit means what? The spiritual. It's pure, but of course, it's not the full form of the pure. It's not Para Brahman, it's Brahman. Go through that. And he says there, you will be able to realize the spiritual pastime of Godhead. You go there, you see Krishna running around, Mother Yasoda chasing with the cane. And another place, Krishna will be like fighting and quarreling with the gopis. He irritates Radharani. He go and play with a cow. You see all these pastimes. And when you do that, then you will be able to taste the ambrosia. What is ambrosia? It's a very high nectar, honey. Ambrosia is beautiful, very tasty substance. You'll be able to taste the honey of an incessant Brahmarasa. What does that mean? Incessant. Incessant means never ending. Keep coming. Imagine when you open your mouth and the honey keep entering your mouth. It keep coming and coming and coming, and you're tasting and you're tasting and tasting and going on tasting rest of your eternity. A time will not come that you stop tasting them. Okay, am I clear? Or did I break? Am I going on smoothly? Hare Krishna. Am I going on smoothly? Is there any break? All right. Okay, great. Okay. Now, please mute everyone. Then he says, you taste the ambrosia of an incessant Brahmarasa. The mellow, the spiritual mellow will be keep coming to you, and you just enjoy, and just go on enjoy for eternity. Not a moment that you are not going to enjoy it. Okay? Not a moment that you are not going to enjoy it. It just comes to you. Incessant, just like the river flows. You can never block the river. You cannot stop the river. The river is don't stop. Okay, take a break, then continue. No, once it start to flow, it keep flowing and flowing and flowing for eternity. Brahmarasa. When that thing happen, what will happen? There'll be no longer your soul remain wooden-like. No longer your soul or you will be like a wood. Or in Tamil, we call ulakkai. We don't start நம்ம உலக்கை போல வாழ மாட்டோம். உலக்கை பப்பான் கட்டை சொல்லுவாங்களா மரக்கட்டை. என்னடா கட்டை மாதிரி அங்கே உட்கார்ந்திருக்க மரக்கட்டை. All right? Or in Malay, we also call papan. Why you act like papan? Or like a wood? Or look at the floor sleeping like a log. That sometimes the English term say, why are you sleeping like a log? Just sleeping log. So we will no longer be like a wooden like. Then Bhakti Vinod Thakur further continues. What he say? He say, the name, form, attributes, and the Leela. Leela means pastime of the Supreme Being are manifested not by any earthly light. All these things manifested is not through any earthly light, but by the spiritual flame. All these are not manifested by earthly prakriti or material conditioning. It is by the spiritual flame. Then the sun, moon, stars, lightning, and fire of this earth are quite unfit. What is that? The sun, the moon, the stars, the lightning, and the fire of this earth are quite unfit. It doesn't fit at all to give light to the other spiritual horizon. It is not bright enough to brighten up the spiritual world. The spiritual light, this spiritual light, which is far beyond worldly lights. That means the spiritual light is far beyond the worldly lights. It brightens that region. It brightens that region, the spiritual world. It is only by the perverted reflection. That means what? It's a perverted reflection. And that light, we think, supplies us with light. Okay? It's only by perverted reflection of that light that we think supplies us with light. So it's only a perverted reflection. That means the sun that we have is a perverted reflection. All the things that we have is a perverted. Terbalik. Perverted means upside down. Of course, pervert have many meanings, but this perverted means upside down. You know, when I see, for instance, now when we are looking at this, okay, so now example, okay, I give you an example. Okay, now you're all of you seeing me. Now I set the camera, adjust background. Okay, okay. Now when you see here, videos, all right. So now mirror my video. So now we are mirroring. This is my right hand. This is my left hand. Are you all seeing me? Now I remove the mirror. What happened now? Can you see me? Hello? This is my, what hand is this now? What hand is this? What hand do you see in your, huh?
Left.
What is that? Come on, speak up. What is this hand?
Your left.
My left?
Uh-huh.
How do you know it's my left? Oh, okay. Because I showed you already. What is this? Of course, yeah. Okay. Okay. This is too bad. I shouldn't have wear all these kind of things. All right. So when you look at this perverted reflection, okay, now I'm looking on my right or left? Where am I looking? Towards my left or towards my right?
Left.
Okay. Mataji, you're too sharp. How about others? Where do you think I'm looking at? Am I looking up or down? Mangala Mataji, Mangala Rukmini. She's breaking. Anyway, so this is the perverted reflection. See, when I'm looking at myself in the camera, okay, this is my right hand. Okay, but in my camera is showing on my left. Yes or not? In the camera, where is my right hand situated? On your left or right?
Left, sir. Left.
It shows on your left.
Left.
But this is my right hand.
Yes.
This is my left hand. It's showing right on your camera. Yes or not? On the screen. All right. Okay, now I change the setting. All right. Now I come to the real setting, mirror my video. All right. Now I mirror my video. Okay. Now what happened? This is my left showing on my this thing, and this is my right. So like that is perverted. What we are seeing is totally perverted. Just like sometimes when you see a tree and the river, and when you see the tree, it's standing this way, but you look at the river, it looks like standing upside down. That's a perverted reflection of these things. So now we understand that light
Of opposite side, right?
Yes, terbalik, opposite. Yes, correct. Opposite. Okay. So like that. So that means what we are seeing is we are seeing the perverted reflection of that light that we think that supply with lights. But in fact, it does not. While describing Brahmapura, the region of Brahman, the place of Brahman, the light, the Chandogya Upanishad gives us the comprehensive knowledge. Comprehensive means the detailed knowledge of it. The spiritual kingdom are displayed by the spiritual light as an ideal to the base earth. Okay. The spiritual kingdom, as per displayed by the spiritual light, is an ideal to the base earth. There is not least tinge of baseness, while on the contrary, only an all-pervading daintiness of a sweet affair. All right, what does that mean? Okay, quite a complicated English. All right, what he says, the spiritual kingdom displayed by the spiritual light is an ideal to this base earth. So that means this base earth, the spiritual kingdom, is displayed by the spiritual light. Its ideal is like the base earth. That means like the base is the earth. The earth is the basis. But the thing is, there's not least a tinge of baseness. You understand? So when you see, okay, how many of you don't understand what I'm talking? Let me explain again.
Please explain again.
Okay, now he says the spiritual kingdom, Mataji, all right, is displayed, okay, in the spiritual light as the base of this earth. That means the base. அடிப்படை. இந்த பூமி அடிப்படையில பேசப்படுது. You got it?
Okay.
All right. Here we understand the word BASE, basis. So we are talking on the earth basis. All right. Basis. Okay. You understand so far what the basis means?
Yes, Prabhu.
Anyone else? Chang Prabhu? Krishna Kumari Mataji? Muru Mataji? Shobha Mataji? Shuddha Sindhu? Vaishnava Kripa? All you understand, eh?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now we are talking about in the basis of earth. So that means the spiritual light, the spiritual kingdom is displayed like on the basis of the earth. That means what we are seeing when we are looking around, we assume the spiritual world looks like this planet earth because we are so used to it. Oh, I go to Goloka, I can see the mountain, I can see the waterfalls, I can see people are going around, I can see flowers, I can see durian, I can see fruits. That means our perception, because we are in this condition, we only see, we only imagine the spiritual world look like this material world. We are looking, we base that spiritual basis like this material place because we have only have experience on this place. You got it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, now another example I want to give. How many of you went to overseas country which is cold country before for a first time? I mean, how many of you have been to cold country like snow or like Simla, all this kind of this thing which is extremely cold? Have any one of you?
Yes, Prabhu.
Where did you go? Where have you been?
Switzerland in
Switzerland. Okay.
Yeah.
How many times? Is that the first trip in your life?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. When you went to Switzerland, before you went to Switzerland, what was your perception? Your perception is everything that looks like Malaysia, right?
Not exactly, but I was thinking it will be very clean and snowy and all those kind of things.
Yes, but your perception is based on what? You have not been there, so you don't know how it looks, correct?
Yeah.
So you start to think it. That means what your perception, your idea is based cleanliness, coldness, chillness based on your experience in Malaysia. Yes or not?
Yes.
Okay. Then you went there. Hey, it looks different.
Yeah.
Then you feel the chillness. It's something that is kind of shock to you. Oh my God, this is crazy cold. Yes.
Yes.
That's what it meant here. So when we are here, when we in this Malaysia, we make assumption. You know, we assume that everything based on the idea of Malaysia. Then when we go there, it's actually totally different. It's totally different. You know, so like that. So what happened? So it's not at least a tinge of the baseness. You can't base the spiritual world based on your experience of this material world. I hope you all are understanding me. Okay. All right. But in contrary, only an all-pervading daintiness, it's sweet affair. So that means on the contrary, whatever that all-pervading daintiness, that means it's just a daint, just like a drop of its sweet affair. So what we are seeing here is basically a drop of this thing. You got it? So what we are seeing is the sweet affair. We are seeing only the daintiness. It's just a slight drop of it, of all pervading. Okay. The 14 mundane worlds are only perverted reflection of the sphere. Okay. Now we are coming to the point. The 14 what? Mundane world. What is the 14 mundane world? We got the earth here. Above the earth, we call what they call bhutas. Then here we can see Indraloka. Then we get Taparloka, Maharloka, Andaloka. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Bhuloka, Borloka, Svargaloka, Tapar, Mahar, and Satya. Is it true? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. And this is Brahmaloka. Come on. place of Brahma. Okay. Bhu, Bhuva, Swa. Swa. Okay. This is heaven, Svargaloka. And all these places. Okay, down we don't talk like down is terrible, all hell. Hey, come on, man. All these 14 planetary, including the bottom, all the 14 planetary is called the mundane world. It's mundane. All the 14 planetary system is only mundane. Okay? It's mundane. It's mundane means it's like terrible. It's like kachra, nothing. But at the same time, what he says is only, the word only, a perverted reflection. The perverted reflection is a kind of terbalik, upside down reflection of that sphere. What sphere is this? Sphere means place. Of that sphere means the spiritual sphere. So that means the entire material world that we are living in upside down. Everything that we see and experience is the opposite feeling of the real happiness in this material world. It's just like a child having a beautiful feeling building a sandcastle. When the child is so much attached to building a sandcastle, we see, oh, okay, they're building a sandcastle. But the child put a lot of imagination, thinking, all the thing in building the sandcastle. But we will be just like, all right, I am a contractor, I'm a developer, and my child is, I'm developing bungalows. My child is building a house on by the beach. But the child is putting all effort. But I, as a father, I'm looking at, oh, okay. Right? Somehow or other, the child is like me. But after the big wave come, push, everything gone. So the child is in ignorance. But we are, so that's what he's saying. So that means it's a perverted reflection. Everything that we see here is just like made of sandcastle. Our life, our property, our money, our opulence, even our good name or bad name, doesn't matter. So we as a devotee, we are not going to get attached, attracted, or what they call, or affected when anyone come and say something bad about you. Come on, who cares? Even the body is useless. The body will die. All the good name, bad name, everything will die along with the body. So what's the big deal? Everything is only a perverted reflection of that spiritual world. Then the gross sun is a reflection of that light. The gross sun, that means the sun that in this material world is only a reflection of the Brahma Jyoti. And its subtle reflection, the subtle reflection, the reflecting it subtly is seen in these mundane rays of dry wisdom. And this dry wisdom, where it come from? From the mind, from the conscience and the consciousness. Okay. Then he says, our gross sense believe the gross sun to be flash of luster. So that means our gross senses, the material senses gross, believe that gross sun, which is material sun, to be the flash of luster. It's beautiful light and luster. And we are proud of the earthly knowledge. Like some people are, some like scientists, like so-called educated fellows, they are always so proud of their knowledge. They feel that they are the walking Google, walking AI. They feel they are hell of a this thing. You have seen that before, right? So we are proud of this earthly knowledge. And these places which is gained by dint of the 8 process of yoga. Okay, which is gained. That means we are proud of the earthly knowledge, which is gained by the dint of 8 process, Ashtanga Yoga, that are action of the subtle intellect, conscience and ego. All these are seemingly natural working of the engrossed jiva. So that means what? All these are seemingly natural. So everything that we are doing, all the knowledge that we acquire, looks like as though it is natural. It is not a big deal. Okay. So, listening to the advice. Okay. So with that, I think we stop here. Yeah, all already. Oh my God. Let me today we did how many? One, two. Oh, you only did 3 paragraphs. Oh, Krishna. You only do 3 paragraphs. Okay. So tomorrow we continue with listening. Listening to the advice of Narada. Okay, it's going to be another important topic here. Okay. So tomorrow we will do this. Okay, please mark your book. Page 125. I'm not sure what is the, and in your printed copy is page 93. Okay. All right. So with this we end the session here. I think the it's quite because the following one I want to start another fresh day. It's going to be even more. It's going into more and more intense learning. Okay. So with this we end the session now. Okay. So I think whatever question you have, you can just keep it with you, and we continue your question. If you have any question, any one of you got any question? Okay, and there's no question. We continue tomorrow, Wednesday, same time at 9:15, because the following part is going to be even more intense. So I want to start clear. All right. So thank you all for such a wonderful moment in time. Thank you for joining, and like this, don't miss your tomorrow session, same time. We just finished 3 paragraphs. It took us what? 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 3 paragraphs. Okay. So like that, it's going to be more and more intense. Of course, we don't rush. So please don't miss tomorrow's session. Till then, have a beautiful day. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bevacha paditanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namah. Part ki jai, Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Srila Bhakti ki jai. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hari
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
Hare
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
God bless you.
Prabhu.
Hare